It was something about water in a wetsuit, or
yeah, we were filming for like about 3 days in this river gorge. It's called Devil's Pulpit, and it's beautiful, but it is cruel. And the water is hypothermic. You know, if you're in it for more than 5 minutes at a time, you will get hypothermic. And even if we had wetsuits on, I mean, that's how cold it was. And we had shot all day, fought in the water and everything. And then I had this one last scene where I'm laying in the river, I'm freezing, I'm shaking, and then they had been pouring warm water down our wetsuits to keep our core warm so we could do it all day. And yelled rap, started walking up, and it's about a 20-minute walk up to where they were boiling the water to put in the bottles to run it down to keep us warm. And I met the guy halfway, so he's like, hey, you want to warm up? And I was like, yeah, why not? And what had happened was he didn't get all the way down to the river to dilute the boiling water with cold water.
So it was boiling water.
Boiling water right down the front. And
how do you treat something like that?
You can't. You actually physically can't do it.
So you're just in pain for...
You don't even burn your finger. It kind of remains burning for a little while.
Yes.
Like, you know, the heat doesn't, it just needs to be drawn out. And for about an hour, I was just like... It's really
I'm thinking days.
It's really humbling when you're just like, and you have two male nurses like looking at your man, and he's not doing so well down there, and it's a really humbling experience.
All the guys in the room are like, oh God.
I truly cannot even explain how. But one funny part about it was the driver is a really funny guy. He was in the Royal Marines, and he's like, maybe this isn't the right song for this moment, and he turns it down, and can you guess what song it was?
Usher Burn?
No, that was gonna be a really good choice though. No, my sex is on fire. And I was just like, oh. I laughed a little bit, but not immediately after that, right back.
But
crying.
later, it's fun. We can laugh about it.
Yeah, we can laugh about it now. But no, they gave me like OxyContin, nothing stopped the burn.
Wow.
Nothing. It was pretty bad.
But you're okay now.
Back on top now.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I know this is kind of a weird question, but did you find that your dance background helped you when you were doing fight scenes? Because it is there is choreography with that, and you come from a dance background, and Jamie did too.
We kept joking that we were gonna make this a musical and start dancing around with swords.
That'll be the sequel.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, absolutely. Dancing, for one, I mean, it's just it helps you with balance and whatnot, but it is choreography. I mean, you have to know spatially how to move with somebody, and because you can really get hurt. I mean, we were running and on like pulpits which were about 12 feet off the ground, and if you slip and fall, you're gonna fall 12 feet. I mean, there's no getting around it. We didn't have a lot of safety nets in a way, but and then when someone's swinging an axe, it might not be a real axe, but it's not gonna feel good if it hits you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I've always had a question about the actual fight scenes, because they're these massive scenes, and there's a ton of people there. How long does it take you to shoot that scene, and what happens when you have to do it again? Like, it must take forever to reset that scene.
It's pretty. I mean, the fort scene, for example. I mean, we choreographed a whole long stretch of that thing, so we shot it in one take. Kevin really wanted to have it at one long take, and it takes about a minute of a whole. Like, a minute's a long time to fight. I don't know if anybody's ever like trained or whatever. Just try to punch a bag for just even 1 minute straight, you will be exhausted. Yeah. And carrying all the stuff and whatnot and swinging, and yeah, it's pretty exhausting. And then the reset, you got to have time to kind of recuperate. And I don't know how these guys did it. They would fight for weeks at a time. They would march for miles and miles and miles, and then they would set up, they would build, and then they would fight. And that's all they did.
Wow.
I'm not that tough. I'm not that tough.
Well, on to some personal things. I wanted to talk to you about your wife, because I love you and your wife, and you really are like one of my favorite celebrity couples. I love you guys.
Thank you.
But Ramiro and I are running a contest for Valentine's Day, and it's for someone to go out and propose to their loved one. How did you propose to your wife?
We went to Hawaii, and I had one of my friends kind of fly out there and find this waterfall, and we had the first trip that me and Jenna ever took together. We tried to find a waterfall in Hawaii, and we never found it. It was just I don't think it ever even existed. The cabbie kind of took us on this crazy ride, but don't listen to cab people in general. So we never found it, and when we tried to find another waterfall on like 2 other vacations, and it just never could ever get to the waterfall. The 3rd waterfall we saw it, but we couldn't get to it. So the 4th one, I was like, nope, I'm gonna make sure it's there, make sure I know where it is. And I had my sister and my friend go and hide in the bushes and film it.
Oh, go ahead, you can say it. Oh. That's so romantic. How did you know that she was the one for you?
You know, she really just made me want to grow and just be better, you know, just at pretty much anything and everything. And just, you know, I don't know, laughter. You know, if we were living together for, you know, about 4.5 years before we decided to get married. So, you know, you get to know somebody, you know, living with somebody and knowing that, like, she's the messy one. I'm the clean one. Yeah, which is really weird. But yeah, it's, you know, it's fun. You gotta know everything you can about the person.
Well, do you think that it's the fact that you're both actors makes it easier for you, or makes the relationship easier or harder? You know, because on one hand you can understand what you're going through.
Yeah, I think it cuts both ways. You know, it definitely does, because I mean, it makes it harder because you both have to go off and do, you know, we both have to go off and do films in different places at different times, and you know, we have a home, we have puppies, we have everything, but in a way we get to understand it a little more. You know, like if, I don't know, if I had to go off and make out with all these, you know, really charismatic, interesting, you know, actresses, and then she didn't really get that at all, like it could become turbulent real fast. But she's got to do the same thing. She goes and makes out with really good looking guys all the time, so, you know.
Oh God, I would hate that.
Yeah.
Well, can we do a couple questions from the audience? Okay. Let's see. These are all of our winners who entered to a chance to meet you. Let's see. Deanna in Manchester, New Hampshire. Where's Deanna? Deanna.
Hi.
She wanted to know who is your biggest influence in your life?
Oh wow. Influence. Probably my sister. Growing up, you know, she was always sort of like a surrogate mom. You know, she always never really. When I got in trouble, you know, she was the one that would, you know, after I got yelled at by, you know, the parents, she'd come through and tell me how to handle the situation, so I could get out of things easier. And so she really helped me out, like, when I was young.
Let's see, Gabriella in Framingham. Where's Gabriella? Hi, Gabriella. She wanted to know, she said, I'm Channing's biggest fan. I'm sure everyone will fight her for that title in here. And she was wondering, what is the craziest thing that you've ever done for a girl, and what's the craziest thing that a fan's ever done for you?
Wow.
We've all been stupid for love. It's okay if you want to read it.
Let's see. God, that's a good question. I surprised Jenna with that first trip to Hawaii. I said we were just going to a restaurant or whatever. And it was for her birthday, and we just went to the airport, so that was pretty cool. But not everybody can do that. I feel bad when I say that one. But with the fan, I don't know.
Anyone pop out of a closet in your hotel room?
No, which that'd be really interesting. Because y'all have no idea what I do in my hotel room. But no, I'm kidding. I dance around. But it's always really interesting when there's someone at like the airport that just comes up and hands you a phone, and you're kind of always like, hello?
Yeah,
like,
say hi.
And then they're like, no, it's not. I'm like, hi. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't know. Okay, here you go. Or at a McDonald's, this girl wouldn't give me my food because she thought I was lying. She's like, you look like the guy, and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, okay, I'm not. Can I have my food? And
how am I supposed to prove it?
She would not give me my food at all. Like, it went on for a good 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's been great to talk to you. And the movie comes out February 11th. The Eagle. Go check it out. I saw it.
I promise it is for girls as well. It's,
yes.
You know, it is just guys in the movie, but look, it's a period
for this
piece,
alone.
You know?
No,
it's a period piece. It's romantic. It's friendship. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to give everyone a chance to take pictures. So thank you all so much.